Hello, my name is Lenny Benson. Welcome back to the Mediator Torch podcast. I'm your host, and this is episode 11. We host stories surrounding resilience, creatives, businesses, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, music artists, and the likes. And today's guest is Dylan Rudderham, who has an inspiring story surrounding resilience and challenges from being born with stroke and having to go through surgeries such as brain surgeries later on in his life. He has an overcoming story. And let's take a look back at Dylan's life story today.
Yeah. You know what time it is, Benny?
Welcome back to the Mediator Torch podcast. My name is Lenny Benson, your host for the Mediator Torch podcast. We are now on episode 11, and today we have our new guest, Dylan Rudderham. You have a wild story, bro.
I do have a wild story for you now.
Now, for you, I'm not gonna ask you whether this is your first podcast appearance. It probably is, but I know like it's not gonna rack your brain because you're a radio guy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So obviously we're gonna get into
If I wasn't in radio, I would for sure wreck my brain. But
Yeah.
given the fact that we go live every week,
Yeah.
it kind of eases it a bit of like, yes, this is what life is, and this, right? But yes, I do have a wild story for you today.
Yeah. I'm glad to be able to obviously bring you on. I know
Happy to be on.
having this platform, it echoes a lot, and being behind the mic, it's an instrument that sometimes it can hold a lot of power, and I would love to be able to use this platform to also spread awareness.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I think it was a really good idea when you reached out and you said, "Hey, Lenny, can we talk about this?" Because I did list down 3 facts on stroke and brain surgery, which is what we're talking about today.
Long story.
And I think it's good to bring that forward to people so
Oh, 100%.
be able to
Like
learn
the
about it.
amount of like, especially now, it's like the amount of stuff they can get out with like podcasting and radio and like. Yes, I want to talk about this now because we actually have a media now that we can actually do it, and I'm not afraid to do it now.
Yes.
Because I'm wiser and I've grown up.
Yeah.
And I'm more comfortable speaking about it.
And that's good. And I know you said for your reason, obviously, you're now branching out as a media person to start your own podcast, which is overcoming.
I have 2 in the works. I have Rise and Overcome, and then I have another one called Double Feature Show.
Man, we're just getting started and we're just finding out there's a lot in the pipeline.
Well, it's a lot in the pipeline.
Okay. Now, 3 facts on stroke from the Stroke Awareness Foundation before we kick off this conversation today. 1, approximately 795,000 people suffer from stroke each year in the United States, with someone having a stroke every 40 seconds. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States, killing nearly 129,000 Americans each year. What are some facts or misconceptions that you would like to shed light on?
Well, one fact I forgot about was 1 out of every 3,000 babies suffer stroke around the time they're born.
Mm-hmm.
So that was always kind of like just shocking in a way.
Right.
When I was younger, but again, I didn't really know any different because I was too young to know.
And it's just an unfolding that you just get to know as you age.
Yeah.
You're a baby at the time, so
It's like you don't
much.
really know. You don't really know.
Yeah. So if we can just get into your early life and diagnosis, let's start from the beginning. You're born with stroke and you had your first hospital visit at 6 months old.
Yeah.
Can you?
6 months.
It's funny to say. Well, it's not funny, but in context, it's to say, can you walk us through that?
I
Because
can't walk you through
you
it.
can remember technically when you were 6 months, but
Obviously, I can't remember.
you know
6
stories.
months. I don't remember that specifically. The earliest were extremely very busy.
Yeah,
I had appointment literally every single day.
every single
Every
day.
single day. Every single day. So I was in therapy literally every day. Physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, massage therapy, literally any therapy you can think of, I was in it.
Mhm.
My parents took me to every doctor and ran every test.
Right.
From so let me go back. They didn't know I had a stroke until I was 6. I was 6 months.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm time jumping back,
Yeah.
but they didn't know that I had a stroke until I was 6 months.
And the surgery in itself was held in New Jersey, but you are.
There's three major big ones.
Yeah.
And there's other ones here and there, but the big one we'll get into later.
Mhm.
But the first one I officially had was New Jersey, but that was just like.
Yes, and so that was every day. Sorry to interject, but like, so you guys had to technically move out and live in the States?
Not live, but the surgeon I saw worked out of the States, so we just had to like we just made a trip out of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, yes, I had surgery in New Jersey, but at the same time, after we made a trip, then went to New York. So I just got in the car and drove to Jersey, did the thing, like went to New York, did the surgery, came back.
Okay, so you're kind of like based in New York at the time.
Yeah, New York was the off day. So we went to New York, made a trip out of it, did the surgery, came back, and then. But we kind of basically we made a trip out of it instead of just going for surgery.
And that was around the time the doctors as well came to the realization that you had epilepsy.
Yes, I had a rare. Yes, they had epilepsy. I did have epilepsy. It's a rare seizure disorder. Mm-hmm. Normally, when people think of seizures, you think of like, oh, I'm falling on the floor and I'm shaking.
Yeah.
But my seizures were all in my head. I know sleeping, if that makes sense. The best way to describe it is picture I'm in your head flicking on and off a light switch. Over and over and over again.
And that would occur when you were
6 months until the time I had my major surgery in 2014. So for 10 years straight, sleeping. I couldn't fall asleep.
Right.
I would fall asleep. It was obviously life-changing. It saved my life, like, forever, and I'm so grateful. I was in really bad shape before. Like, I
couldn't even imagine.
It was bad. Like, it took me, like, everything around on my time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, it took my parents an hour for me to get me to go anywhere. It's like, oh, let's go to the cousin's house. It's like, no. Takes me an hour or whatever. And then transitioning from when I was really young just didn't stick with me. So like going from like, oh, we're going to school to, okay, we're going to hop in a plane tomorrow, we're going to Florida. It's like,
you
feel like the process
yeah.
Before everything, like during everything, just kind of like messed me up. After surgery, I was in such bad shape basically before that I wasn't able to talk or learn before surgery. So like literally, like it wouldn't like. I was almost kind of like when a dog sees a squirrel, if that makes sense.
Right.
It's like before surgery, it's just like looking at a oh tree, right? Like it was basically like I was so distracted. It was just bad. Obviously, my brain felt better. Started sleeping normal and learning and talking again. So that was kind of like.
How long did the whole recovery take after that major surgery?
Was on meds for like a year. About a year, 2 years after.
Right.
Like I didn't stop taking meds till like end of 2016, maybe 2017.
Right.
Like
this was back in 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a long battle, man. It was just a torture battle. The amount of like, remember sitting in the hospital. Remember sitting in the hospital bed and first thing I ever said, waking up at a surgery was, "Is this appointment done yet?" And that was the exact moment that my parents realized he is himself. He is alive. Like, his soul was there.
It was just Dylan speaking and saying that he's exhausted, but then he's back to himself again.
Yeah. Like, I showed you pictures off camera. It's like,
Yes.
You could see the bags underneath my eyes. Like, I did not look good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I looked like I was a zombie for like 10 years.
And that's why I was considering guys to either post that photo as a static for the forthcoming of this episode, but then I chose not to. So that will only be showcased briefly when I edit the video and obviously post the content. Yes.
So that was leading up. So grade 4 was they discovered that I had to have surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Grade 5 was during the surgery, and then grade 6 was they kept me an extra year to recover from surgery.
Okay.
Because they normally take the class, the epilepsy class in SICKIS normally takes you, I think, 2 years, but I got lucky and gained an extra year.
So, sorry, in 2014, what grade were you? Because right now you're about 22, right?
I'm 22, so I was
Okay.
in. So did JK to grade
Okay.
3 public, like end of grade 3 public school.
Yeah.
And then after end of grade 3-ish, they kind of had an idea of like what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then grade 4, 5, 6, I got admitted into. Like grade 4, because before end of grade 3, like I had still to go down to SICKIS for appointments, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, let's go to, another.
Yes, because if we continue to turn back the pages, you see around grade 4, 5, and 6 is when the doctor started to notice some changes, and that's when they realized it might be something more serious at the time.
Yeah, so correction. I went to a normal public school from JK until end of grade 3.
Mhm.
And then grade 4, 5, and 6, they put me in the classroom inside SICKIS Hospital in Toronto.
Okay.
Called the epilepsy classroom that Toronto District Struble runs. So grade 4, 5, and 6, I went in the hospital. It's just me and 5 other kids, so 6 other kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's very small. But from that,
And so, is that the time you say that technically it was a hospital, a school that was within the hospital?
yeah, so it was a
Okay.
classroom,
Right.
but you're in the hospital generally.
Okay.
It's run by Toronto District School Board, but it's the classrooms inside the hospital.
Okay.
But yes, early years, I had headaches literally every day and couldn't sleep. I was tired literally 24/7. I did every medication, did not work for the life of me. The side effects were nuts. I literally, as I told you, I had tests and appointment every single day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 brothers, so it was kind of like, my dad drives my brothers to hockey and soccer, and I was like, oh, next weekend, let's go to an appointment with Dylan. Let's drive to Toronto again.
Yeah. So it was a big hectic.
It was a big family. It was a bit hectic.
Yeah. And so how would you describe like your classes day to day? How would they be?
So it kind of fit in. The good thing about it is it kind of fit in if I had an appointment. So it's like they'll give me time for like an hour, right? But it was the same classes that I had: geography, I had history, and math. Like,
Yeah.
It's all the same classes you have when you're like grade 4, 5, and 6.
What was your favorite subject at the time?
Probably history.
You like history?
Getting through it was history. It was a history book, but it wasn't like your generic World War I, World War II, right?
Yeah.
It was like Achilles and like
Aristocrats.
yeah, it's all like that stuff. It's just I'm like, Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good answer. But from those 3 years, I got to know everyone inside the hospital, from the cook at the cafeteria to the lady at the front desk to the staff. Obviously, it's been a blast, man. This episode's been fun. Thanks for having me on.
This episode has been fun for me personally because you have educated me on a lot that I definitely didn't know about.
Oh, yeah.
And I've gotten to learn about the challenges that can come with, stroke and having brain surgery and having to obviously live different lifestyles.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you so much for shedding light
It's
and
been a blast.
even asking me to, like, let's talk about this.
Let's do it.
This podcast is not, it's not only about creatives or bringing on music artists or people with businesses. It's also about raising awareness, and I think
100%.
it's really people for it's
Right.
really important for people to get to learn about this.
Right? Like, if like, I wouldn't have. You asked me a year ago, I wouldn't have talked about this for forever.
And thank you so much for being you and agree taking that step to share.
Oh, yeah.
And guys, that has been Dylan today. Obviously, I'm going to be posting the links in the description for his social pages, and be sure to be on the lookout as he has 2 things in the pipeline. He has the Overcoming podcast that will be coming soon, as well as one of the podcasts with his friend that he's putting together.
Right.
And
If you're looking for the other name of the podcast, it is called Double Feature Show. So double_feature_show.
double_feature_show. And we are out. We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.